Do bands really make them dance? Hey, loves. Welcome back to another episode of Sassy Speaks. And I'm your girl, Sassy. Thank you for coming back to kick it with me for another episode. And let me just take a minute to say that this was definitely a struggle to get this episode out. When I say life is lifing is an understatement. Life is trying to take your girl out. But we are here and we made it. So once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to me go on and on and on and on. Okay. So today we're still in Messy March and we are going to talk about money, 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 money. We're going to talk about how cash can turn love into chaos. Because, honey, money doesn't just talk, it yells, it screams, and sometimes throws a whole tension tantrum. So let's break down the ways your partner's wallet can expose the real drama. All right. So, how can cash make people act toxic, dramatic, or straight up insane? And how to protect your neck. And we're just going to dig in 4 different ways that this can happen. So, buckle up, sweethearts. Buckle up, sweethearts, because it is going to be a ride. First up, partners who use money to control. Financial controllers. They decide what you can or cannot spend. Where they do that at? How you should spend it. Say what? Or somehow make you feel guilty for wanting Starbucks. Honey, if I want Starbucks, I'm going to get Starbucks. I mean, what? If someone is using money to manipulate your choices, that is not love. It's a full on power play. And that is just not right. That is diabolical. Because how are you going to say that you got me, but you're just trying to control me, right? And so this is the one that says, oh, I pay for everything. So what? What you trying to say? Use your words. So what? Yeah, and it sounds nice at first. Ooh, paid all my bills, covered the dates. Life is good because I can keep my own money. Until one day you wake up and he tells you no. No. I hate that word no. When it's something that I want, I hate it. It's just the spoiled brat in me. But this is why it is always important to have your own. Yeah, it sounds good. Oh, yeah, your man's pulling out this card. He pays for this, he pays for that, but then that is the control. And suddenly, every decision or every dollar bill comes with strings attached. Where you go, what you wear, who you see. And the first thing that they throw in your face is, well, I paid for this. Will I take care of you? Am I your partner or a dependent? And keeping me financially stuck? So, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that he's paying for everything? He or she, we're going to keep it gender neutral, is paying for everything and you're not stocking anything? Shawnee O'Neal she did her thing. She did her thing. And we should all be learning from her because what? You want me to stay home. You don't want me to work. You want to take care of me. But this is slowly becoming a control. And I'm not saying this is for everybody because some people generally just want to take care of the person they love. And that's okay because, honey, if my husband made 6 figures and I could move and do and shop like I want to. Job, say what? My job would be taking care of him and taking care of this house because I know that um that control, nah. But again, some people want to genuinely take care of you, but that's just where you have to watch it because it's a thin line. And they feel like you can't afford to do anything. So you're stuck. And that's what they say. It's cheaper to keep it, right? Yeah, okay. And then they want to monitor every dollar you touch. Why you spend $20 a day? Why you swipe that card? Why you at Starbucks again? If you don't stop stalking me in this money, and at this point, it is better to have your own. And the moment that you try to restrict me from spending what I want to spend, oh yeah, we got bigger problems. Trust me. Um, and I will be the first to admit my name is Sassy, and I have a shopping problem, or a spending problem, or buying problem. I have it all. And so, in order to try to restrict me by simply cutting off the one thing that I love to do, we are grown. That control just ain't where it's at. I promise you. And then you want to use it as a punishment? You mad at me, so you don't want to let me spend this? You want to take my cards, restrict my bank access? What? Oh, that's a fight for real. That is a fight for real. And you're not going to make me feel guilty. My mama used to always say, I go to work every day. I go to work every day. So if I want to buy that dress, a bag, a pair of shoes, I should be, as long as everything else is taken care of, right? And again, this is where we get into shrinking ourselves and second guessing our basic needs because they make you feel guilty and they want to restrict your spending. So if someone's financial support comes with fear, guilt, or control attached, that's not support, it's a leash. Control says, I need you dependent so you don't go anywhere. Healthy love says, I want you secure with or without me. Those two are not the same. Think about it. Think about it. Do we want to be on a leash or do we want to be free? Leashes are for animals. And I believe that right there. Next, let's get into spending habits that scream, I don't respect you. The wild spender. They blow money like it's confetti, then act confused when you say, hey, maybe we should save that. Or you want someone responsible, not someone who treats your shared bills like monopoly money. Respect shows in action, not receipts. So this is the total opposite. You want to control me, but in the first, with the ones who use control, now you're spending way too much and you're leaving me with the responsibility. No. No. Priorities. Because you can have limited money and still have limitless disrespect. Balling for the world and bare minimum for me? You in the club popping bottles, taking trips, designer everything. But then when it comes to your partner, suddenly it's, oh, let's stay in and money's tight. Oh, so I'm not a priority? I'm an afterthought with benefits? What? So you can pop bottles in the streets, but you can't pop bottles at home. I'm not picking up for your slack, bruh. No. This is where budgeting happens. Now, if you got it, flaunt it. But if you don't, you better stay home. And that's just that. Expecting you to carry the weight while they coast. Are we splitting the bills? If we are, then cool. But somehow, when you out there balling, your partner is covering the extras, picking up the slack, and stressing. And while you just out there doing you. Does that seem fair? No, it doesn't. Reckless spending that puts you both at risk. So you out there being impulsive, irresponsible, and act like you're allergic to responsibility, having late fees, overdraft fees, bad decisions. But somehow I got to dig in my pocketbook to find the money to cover what you said you was going to cover or what you're supposed to cover. Now you getting into my spending. that's that's the whole problem. And I used to always say I can take care of myself. Always have and always will. Now you're here to be an addition. And if you are taking away from me caring for myself, then that's a problem. I'm all for we in this together and we got to figure it out together, but I'm not going to figure it out alone. I tell you that, because if I am, I'll be alone. Right? Right. And joking about not spending on you, saying things like, I'm not paying for that, or you got it right. We done sat here and ate these steaks and now you talking about you got it right? No. And it becomes a pattern, and patterns don't lie, but people do. People do. And making you feel like you're asking too much. Bare minimum. You ask for basic effort, dates, shared responsibilities, consideration. Oh, but suddenly now you're materialistic. You're doing too much. No, I just want what I give back. And that's a big difference. So respect isn't about how much money someone has. It's about how they choose to show up with what they do have. If they can invest everywhere else, but hesitate when it comes to you, that's not a budgeting issue. That's a value issue. Because someone who respects you doesn't just spend money. They spend intentionally, thoughtfully, and without making you feel like a burden. Think about that one as well. We're not a burden. You just want to invest in me. You want to do this. You want to do that. Don't stress. It's okay. And type number 3. Financial stress turns sweeties into vibe killers. Now you're killing the vibe. And we know money will expose people, not create the problem. They just pull the mask clean off. Short temper, loud sighs, and zero patience. Yeah, everything sets them off. The bills do. Now they snapping, irritated, acting like you're the problem instead of the pressure. Stress is real, but disrespect is still a choice. I'm not breathing this air alone. I'm not turning these lights on alone. I'm not in this heat alone. I'm not eating alone. Like, where are you going to do that? Free. You need to go to your mama house. Because here, it pays to be here, Avoiding real conversations about money. You try to talk budgets, plans, next steps, and suddenly they're dodging you. If y'all can't talk about money, then you definitely can't build anything with it. We need to talk about future plans. We need to talk about where we're going. We need to talk about how we're going to keep this house running. It's not all going to be on one person. It shouldn't all be on one person. This is a team effort. Turning into the blame distributor. Instead of teamwork, it's pointing the finger. Oh, we wouldn't be in this mess if you, A, B, C, or D. Oh, so now it's not our situation. It's my fault. Interesting. Shutting down emotionally, they go cold, distant, checked out, no affection, no communication. The vibes are not there anymore. And you're sitting there wondering what changed. Baby, pressure revealed what was already fragile. Competing instead of collaborating. Now it's who makes more, who spends more, who does more. Everything becomes a competition. And relationships aren't supposed to feel like financial Olympics. Financial stress will either turn two people into a team or into opponents. There's a difference between we're figuring this out together and you're on your own with this. And trust me, you feel that difference immediately. And being under pressure, you either are going to dim the relationship or you're going to protect the relationship. Which one we gonna do? This bad energy is killing my vibe, but you gotta understand that it takes two to tangle, right? Yeah, yeah. So we just want that temporary vibe, or we're gonna be in this for the long run because it matters. Lastly, when love and money collide, this is where you find out if you're building a life or just sharing bills and vibes. Love starts feeling like a transaction. I did this for you, so you should do this for me. Oh, now we're keeping score? Okay, cool. Let me grab a calculator and set some boundaries. And the moment affection turns into the invoice, yeah, romance has left the building. You want to receive with that, baby? Different money mindsets equals constant friction. One of you saves, one spends it like it might be the end of the world. One plans, one wings it. And now every decision feels like a mini argument waiting to happen. It's not about who's right. It's whether y'all can align without losing your minds. That's the key. Big decisions bring big truth. Moving in, vacation, investments. Suddenly, it's not cute anymore. It's clarity. Who's responsible? Who's avoiding? And who's carrying the weight? Money doesn't lie. People just hope you don't notice. So these are very important questions that we need answers to. Resentment starts quietly and then gets loud. At first, the little thoughts are, I always pay for this, or I feel like I'm doing it alone. And then it's an argument, and it's not really about money anymore. It's about feeling unsupported, unseen, and low key used. And you realize love alone isn't enough. Whew. Yeah, I said it. Boom, there it is. Chemistry is cute. Feelings are real. But if there is no trust, no teamwork, or no mutual respect around the money, the relationship is on borrowed time. Love and money can absolutely coexist, but it's only when there's transparency, respect, and shared effort. Not control, not avoidance, and not silent resentment. Because the goal isn't just to be in love, it's to build something that actually works. And if money keeps breaking the connection, that's not a financial issue. That's a relationship reality check. Sometimes it's just messy. You're dating someone who's a sugar daddy in theory, but bankrupt in reality. Or worse, pretending to be responsible while secretly spending like a toddler in a candy store. You learn the signs before you invest your heart and your money. Money exposes character, it doesn't create it. Protect your coins, protect your heart, and never let someone's wallet dictate your worth. Cash may come and go, but your peace is priceless. Money March is messy, but knowledge is power. So until next week, stay sassy, smart, and stay minding your business. What kind of? All right, loves. I want you to talk to me. Send me some topics. Tell me how you feel about this. What are some stories that you dealt with money? It's a tight one, ain't it? You can say it's tight, but it's right. And hit me up on email sassyspeakspod@gmail.com, Sassy Speaks on Facebook, and Sassy Speaks Pod on IG. You know, money is the root of all evil, so they say, but it can be a good thing. But until next week, holla at your girl. Bye, loves.